Miss, who am I pinch hitting for? Miss Linda, I think. So, hi everybody. I'm just finishing my little, there. So, here's what I was going to show you, and this is a, the prize. I'm going to demo the prize. So the prize tonight, during prize time, is this fabulous quick and easy block tool. Now you may think, oh, I'm not a quilter. I don't play with fabric. Nothing is in here for me. But I'm here to tell you different. I'm here to tell you that if you're a paper crafter, you can take advantage of this too. And if you love the shape and the geometrical design of quilt blocks, you can use this to create really cool paper mosaics that you can put in greeting cards or even use as a scrapbook layout or anything that you want. So this tool is really, really awesome, and it's the cards. And each card has a different quilt block on it, and each card breaks out the quilt block into simple squares and pieces and then gives you all the math of how many pieces to cut of each color of fabric, or in my case, paper. So what's really great, let me pull up the one I'm going to show you. I'm working with this one right here called Garden Path. And I thought that was a fun block to replicate in paper. So let me switch down to the craft camera quick, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So what I'm doing, hopefully you guys can see, I'm working at a large scale because it's just a little easier to see. But basically what we're doing is we're taking this block, I'll hold it up nice and close, and it's gridded out for you real nice into squares. So I'm just looking at those squares, and I'm going to punch whatever it tells me I need. So it's broken out into there's 5 different fabrics, and it tells me that I need fabric A, in this case paper A, I need 4 squares, and in paper B I need 6 squares, and so on and so forth. So I've basically taken that and I've cut out my squares. So I've chosen a bunch of papers, and I've cut out all my squares. And then in some cases it says which ones you have to cut in half into triangles, which I did very quickly. So for the squares I just used a punch, but you could use your Cricut, or you could just cut it with your personal trimmer into strips, and it's just real easy. So then you're just basically taking this, you're just following this grid. And so I'm looking at this grid, and it tells me where to place everything. So I've got my giant square in the middle, and that's basically comprised of 4 smaller squares, so that's my centerpiece right here. Okay, and all I did was I took a piece of background paper, and I just, for the purposes of the demo, I just laid a bunch of sticky back tape on it so that I could easily just line up all the little squares. But you could work with glue. I would actually recommend maybe placing all the squares first without any adhesive to make sure you like the colors. For example, for one of these, for this one right here, I actually had chosen a lighter purple at first, and it didn't have enough contrast. It was too similar to this green flowered pattern. So I was working with purpley and green, so I decided to go with the solid instead. So if I was not gluing these down, I could lay out my grid and then move things around and then decide what I like the best. So so that's, I mean, really that's all it is. So here you basically just look at each square individually and decide what to do. So in this case, I need to lay down, it's kind of hard for me to talk and do this at the same time, I'm discovering. But, so I know I need to lay down this color here and here. Okay, so you're really just lining up squares together. So that's as easy as it is, and I don't want to take up too much time because I know it's really boring to watch someone just lay down squares. I think you get the gist of it, but it's going to turn out really fun, and I'll keep working on it, and at the end of sharing, I should have this all mapped out, and you'll be able to see it, and it will be a lovely quilt block. So this is a really fun tool. There's all kinds of really fun stuff in it. If you have any questions, I will answer them because I can look at the chat room now. It's really easy. Yes, the mosaic, you could work with anything. You could use this tool. I think quilt blocks are just such a great geometric imagery, and whether you're working with fabric, the only thing I got to tell you is that the actual measurements here on this chart, if you're working with paper, I wouldn't use these measurements because this includes seam allowance. I would just work with paper. I would just work with the squares. So anyway, do you not say, Bev, what are you saying? Do you not buy them as a kit with the papers inside of the kit? I don't know. I have not seen any kits like that, but basically you would just buy the tool. This is available as an iPhone app too, people. It's really great if you want to have it more portable, but it's pretty portable. Yeah, I would just choose the colors, and it's great because they're colored in for you, so it helps you even choose papers that contrast and which shapes to put the contrasting papers into. So, I don't know. I think it's really fun, and I like thinking of ways to think outside the block. Hi! So here's my finished quilt block. Kind of fun. Pretty papers. I like it. Not sure what I'll do with it. Now, imagine if you were working with really, really mini punches, you could do it on a really small grid. That would be really cute.